What you gonna do is good music and G-Unit.
Yeah. Banks. Low soul.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know they mad cause I'm hood rich. You never ever seen a nigga good trick. You want a problem? Start it up. Start it up. Start it up. Wait a minute.
Cotton candy shoot. Cotton candy shoot.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? Here's Yu-Gi-Oh! 101. I'm with one of the finalists of Yu-Gi-Oh! YCS Toronto, Alexander Saint Louis. What's up, man?
Hi there.
He will show you a deck profile of his deck that he used at YCS Toronto. Let's do this, man.
Alright, so 3 Hyperion, the central boss monster of the deck. Christia. She hands out, wins games. Trigodia. After YCS Toronto, I considered dropping one. Testing cards right now. Some of the candidates could be Mare Force or Count Sorcerer. I haven't decided yet. Gores, solid card. Blackluster, he's broken. 3 Agent of Mystery Earth. It's one of the deck's good turn 1 plays. Three Agent of Creation Venus. This card opens up with crazy combos. 3 Mystic Shine Ball. 3 Tour Guide of the Underworld. This card, super solid turn 1 play. You have so many things that you could do with it. 2 Herald of Orange Light. I preferred this card over Effect Veiler, simply because of the fact that this card could stop cards like Trigodia, Gores, opposing Max C's, Veilers. It allowed you to get your combos going. It also was an out to Christia if they activated their effect. 1 Gen X Ally Birdman. I didn't like multiple because once you get your combo off with Venus, you don't want to continuously pay life points, and there's not much you could do after that. 1 Effect Veiler because you could search it out with Sangan. It's pretty solid. Sangan, of course, staple with Tour Guide. 1 Honest. I played 2 Gold Sarcophagus. This with the turn 1 Tour Guide of the Underworld, you could do Tour Guide, get another Tour Guide, play Gold Sarcophagus, get the Agent of Creation Venus, then XYZ into Levear, and then with Levear's effect you could special summon the Agent of Creation Venus to the field. Now after that you could pay life points for Mystic Shine Balls, and you could make Gachi Gachi. Now if you had cards like Gen X Ally Birdman, you could bring out the 3rd Shine Ball, bounce it back for Birdman, and then pay 500 again with Venus to bring out the Shine Ball that you brought to your hand, and you could make a level 8 Synchro. Also, you could end up doing Trishula plays. Pretty much you go level 8, 9, or 10 with Decisive Arms or whatnot. 2 MST, 1 Heavy Storm. This was the only back row destruction that I chose because I didn't put the 3rd MST main deck because I didn't want my hands to clog up, and also my version of Agents runs traps, and I needed to find stuff to cut in order to fit all the traps. 1 Monster Reborn, Mind Control, and Dark Hole. These are all pretty staple. The traps I decided to play in Agents were 2 Bottomless. This card was amazing because against the mirror match you could remove stuff like Christia and even opposing Venuses. And then if you had Tour Guide or some way to bring out Levear, you could take their Venus and go off, basically. Solar Warning, still a decent card. The 2,000 life points isn't that bad. It negates, again, Gores, Trigodia, Christia, boss monsters. 1 Torrential, and 1 Trap Dust Shoot. I actually didn't draw this at all during the tournament, and it's still a super solid card, but whenever I went second, I just cited it out, and when I was going first, I put it back in. I decided to cut Solemn Judgment because this format, paying half your life points at a maximum of 4,000 life points is way too much. And with decks like plants and agents that could just bring out boss monsters and big synchro plays, it's too dangerous to play this format. I'm gonna go through the extra deck quickly. One Decisive Arm. This is good against Lightsworn and agents. You just have to be careful for cards like Effect Veiler because its third effect is a cost. But this card could straight up win you games. One Trishula, pretty staple. Scrap Dragon, Stardust. I played Thought Ruler. I didn't side stuff like Cyber Dragons, or I didn't think the second Gachi Gachi was necessary. And this was pretty good against certain rogue matchups that had a lot of targeting back rows, like Dimensional Prison, stuff like that. Ancient Sacred Wyvern. This card I never brought it out, but while playtesting I have brought it out and it has won me games. It's very situational, but it's a decent card. One Black Rose Dragon, pretty standard. Bryonic, Gaia Knight. I chose not to put in Orient Dragon because there's really no other job that Gaia Knight and Bryonic can't do. So I find that it was just a waste of space to put Orient Dragon. One ally, Justice Catastor. One Magical Android. This card is not that bad. I was debating between this and Hyper Librarian, and I hate going to time. So this card sometimes put enough pressure and would gain me enough life points to beat time, basically. It's also, since it's a light, it's great with Honest. So pretty much that's it. One Armory Arm. One Levear. Broke. One Leviathan. Also a pretty solid card with Tour Guide, just 25 beater is hard to get over. One Gachi Gachi, this card, so powerful. Just Mystic Shine Balls into Gachi Gachi, and this card could slow down the game state to bring it to your advantage. Alright, side deck. 3 DD Crow. This card was great against stuff like Infernities, Plants, sometimes the Mirror Match, depending. Good against Scraps, so many matchups. Thunder King Ryo, this card was my MVP during the weekend. This card was amazing against the Mirror Match, and the way I sided, essentially I was playing Protect the Ryo some games. This card was great to go over, bump heads with Quacky Mew, Drago, cards that really shut down. 1900 attacks, pretty big for level 4. 2 Puppet Plant. Puppet Plant was situational, but in my meta there's a lot of Miracle Heroes, and I was also hearing that Gravekeepers were getting a lot of hype. So this card, although it loses to Royal Tribute, it was still worth taking the chance and siding it. Actually, in my last round of YCS, in final round of Swiss, I actually attacked a Gravekeeper Recruiter with Sangan that I knew that was there. I discarded Puppet Plant and brought out Levear, and then with Levear just gained advantage from there. Completely destroyed my opponent. I sided the third MST. It was great against many decks that could side in Light Imprisoning Mirror, Scale Drain. It's good against TGs. It's really solid. Smashing Grounds, I think they're really necessary because it's an answer to Christia's. It gets rid of opposing Thunder Kings that most players would probably side in. Just, it's an out to stuff also like Quackymiro Drago. It's really good. Forbidden Lance. This card won me a lot of games. It helped me protect my Thunder King Ryo, and also when my opponents tried to get rid of Thunder King via stuff like Dark Hole or Smashing Ground, this was an answer. So this in combination with Thunder King is pretty solid. Also, if I had to summon Venus and my opponent would chain Bottomless, I would chain this and win from there. Double Dust Tornado, this was actually a last minute side deck change. I originally had Leeching the Light, but I felt that there were going to be a lot more rogue matchups, like Gladiator Beasts and Gravekeepers, which my deck kind of, not loses to, but it's not an ideal matchup, and I needed a little bit of hate for those decks. And Death Tornado was the best thing to put in, and the only card that I considered taking out was Leeching the Light. Leeching the Light was pretty solid against stuff like Lightsworn and Agents, but honestly, against Lightsworn, it's a pretty easy matchup. And against Agents, well, there's not much you could do if your opponent opens up broke.
All right, man, bro. Thank you very much for that interview, deck profile, and hope you win a YCS soon.
Hey.
Like, do you go to Columbus? You're gonna go to Columbus?
No, I'm not gonna go to Columbus. I have school and too many things to focus on. I actually did write an article for tcgplayer.com, so if you guys feel like it, you could read it there. I go more in depth in what I cited out, deck choices.
Anyway, I'll put the link below. I'm gonna put that link. Don't worry. All right, man. Thanks, man. Peace.
What you gonna do is good music and G-Unit.
Yeah. Thanks. Low soul.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know they mad cause I'm hood rich. You never ever seen a nigga good trick. You want a problem? Start it up.